when I looked at his kit, I'm gonna be real with you guys. He's dog shit. Now, the reason why I say he's dog shit, now keep in mind, guys, I will say Aero Rover is dog shit for now. He is dog shit for now. Maybe later on in the future, he's gonna be a lot stronger. But guys, let's cut the coping. Let's be honest here. When you really look at his kit, so this is Aero Rover, right? We pretty much switched to Aero Rover over here. Out of all the three elements so far, Spectral, Havoc, and Aero, this has to be the worst elemental. Like, this has to be the worst version of the MC out of out of all the elements so far. This has to be the worst because his entire kit, right? It really just comes down to heals and him being able to inflict aero erosion. Now, that was like the main thing we were all excited about, aero erosion. But when you actually look even further in his kit, he can't inflict aero erosion. He can convert it. Now, when they first revealed his kit, I thought that he can actually inflict it, but that's just not the case. It seems like, right, when we take a look at him inflicting aero erosion on the enemy, as you guys can see, it says, right, if we can find somewhere over here, there it is. It says, while in mid-air, press a resonant skill to deal aero damage, which removes all stacks of Spectral Frazzle, Havoc Bane, Fusion Burst, Glacial Shave, and Electro Flare from the target hit and inflicts one stack of aero erosion for each stack removed. And when you look at every single part of his kit, you guys can clearly see that it doesn't say aero erosion. He can't inflict aero erosion in his Forte circuit, his Resonance Liberation, his intro skill, or his outro skill. He cannot inflict aero erosion anywhere else but this resonance skill, which is him converting aero erosion, converting Spectral Frazzle to aero erosion. Of course, other negative stats effects, right? So the only character that can inflict Spectral Frazzle besides Havoc, not Havoc, but Spectral MC is Phoebe. She is the only character that can inflict Spectral Frazzle. And there's not a single character in this game that can inflict Havoc Bane, Fusion Burst, Glacial Shave, and Electro Flare. So if you don't have Phoebe, you're cooked. Like, you can't do anything with this character. Like, you literally cannot inflict aero erosion, which means like he can't use the aero erosion set. And even if you put the aero erosion set on him, it's not even going to be that good because aero erosion set, it pretty much focuses on if we come over here to switch, let me see the effects here real quick. If we click this, Sonata effect, there we go. So you guys can see it says for aero erosion, it says aero damage plus 10%, and then inflicting aero erosion upon enemies increases aero damage for all resonators in the team by 15%. And for the resonator, triggering this effect by an additional 50% lasting for 20 seconds. So this set, of course, is going to be pretty good on Aero Rover. But let's be honest, guys, like Aero Rover, the fact that he doesn't even have an additional crit in like his Forte, like the fact that you don't even get this as a stat bonus, instead you get healing bonus as a stat bonus. Like, at this point, he's not really a main DPS unit, guys. He's mostly like a healing unit, to be honest. Like, he's mostly a healing unit. Of course, you can try to make him a DPS unit, but it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good, and it's just a waste. So it really just comes down to, are you willing to sacrifice Shorekeeper or another busted support unit? Not even another busted support unit. Are you willing to sacrifice Shorekeeper, a unit that can literally give you additional crit damage, additional crit rate, right? Additional damage bonus? Are you willing to sacrifice a broken character like Shorekeeper just to use Rover, who can't even inflict aero erosion without Phoebe? It's like, without Spectral Frazzle or these other negative stats effects, he can't even inflict aero erosion. Like I don't even have Phoebe, so it's like, what can I even do? Like, I literally cannot do anything with this character. And his weapon, I will say his weapon, that's like the only thing that will pretty much buff allies, because it says over here, when Rover Aero cast Resonance skill Unbound Flow, aero damage dealt by nearby resonators on the field is amplified by 10%. It's just a measly 10%, and you can't even get copies on this weapon. So it's like, you're like, I'm gonna be real with you guys, man. Like, you're not really gaining a boot. Like, if you have a Shorekeeper on your account, if you have any other unit like Verena, for example, there's absolutely no reason for you to even use Aero Rover with Gion. Like, there's just no reason, man, because you need to use Phoebe. And it's like the team that you would use is Phoebe, Aero Rover, and Gion. And you're pretty much sacrificing Shorekeeper, Marina, any other insane support unit for a 10% arrow damage bonus, and you know, you being able to convert Spectral Frazzle to Arrow Erosion. But keep in mind, this can only happen if you have Phoebe, because she's the only character besides the MC so far that can inflict a Spectral Frazzle on the enemy. So it's like, guys, this is bad, bro. I ain't gonna lie, this is really, really bad. I just don't see any use for Aero Rover as of to right now. I don't see any use for this character. The only thing you're gonna pretty much gain from his character is heals and him being able to, I don't know, amplify your damage with his weapon, and that's pretty much it. That is all you're gonna get from Rover. We're gonna have to wait to get more you know, units in the future that can inflict more negative stats effects, but I don't like the fact that, you know, for Aero Rover, the only way that you can inflict Arrow Erosion is if he converts Spectral Frazzle to Arrow Erosion. That's like the only way. I thought that he can actually inflict it himself, but he actually can't. So, like, I don't know what else to tell you guys. Like, he's actually dog shit as up to right now. You guys can see it says improves team survivability, deals higher resonant skill damage, and utilizes Arrow Erosion for combat advantage. It's like the only thing he's useful for. So you take out Arrow Erosion, you only have the resonant skill damage and supporting healer. He's a really niche unit. He really is niche. And, you know, I know there's going to be people coming in here saying, well, you know, I'm using him as a DPS and he's actually pretty good. I'm using him as a healer. He's pretty nice. Sure, you can say that. But the main idea here is Arrow Erosion. That is the main idea. And the fact that that is locked behind Phoebe is just, it's horrible, man. It's horrible. And you really can't do much with this character, guys. I'm gonna be real with y'all. You guys can't really do much with this character. And he's trash. He's trash, bro. Aero Rover is trash. He is horrible. So I would highly recommend you guys to not even waste your time trying to build him. Like, if you want to build him, by all means go ahead. But I don't really see, like, don't even put the new Arrow Erosion set on him, because you can't convert Arrow Erosion, like, you can't inflict it on the enemy unless you have Phoebe. So if you don't have Phoebe, you might as well forget about the Arrow Erosion set, because he can't inflict it. So therefore, just use Rejuvenating Glow. You guys can see that this is literally the recommended set for Aero Rover. It's Rejuvenating Glow. They don't even put Arrow Erosion, because they know that without Phoebe, you can't inflict Arrow Erosion on the enemy. So you would essentially have to use him as a healer. And I'm gonna be real with you guys. Like, you have other characters like Baiji. If you come down over here, we have other characters like Baiji. Ignore this, by the way, guys. This is just for, you know, another character. But you have characters like Baiji here. You have Shorekeeper. You have Arena. It's like, why the fuck would I sacrifice these broken characters just for Aero Rover, a unit that can provide pretty mid heals? His damage isn't even that crazy, and he only gives like a 10% arrow damage bonus to like allies with his weapon. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really not that good, man. It's really not that good at all. Yeah, he's bad. He's bad, guys. Let me go and switch my camera. He's bad. That's really unfortunate. Maybe in the future, things are going to change. Maybe we're going to get some more units in the future that are going to inflict. Of course, we're going to get more units in the future that are going to inflict, you know, negative stats effects on the enemy. But the real question is, are those characters going to be good? Because if they're not good, then, you know, you wouldn't want to put Aero Rover in a character that's trash just so that you can inflict Arrow Erosion on the enemy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're pretty much sacrificing, you know, Shorekeeper, broken support units, just to put Aero Rover and another trash character to inflict Arrow Erosion on the enemy, just to buff Gion. You're doing all this shit just for like a 10% arrow damage bonus, or, you know, Arrow Erosion. That's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to do all these things. You have to sacrifice so many characters just for niche buffs that are not even worth it. You know what I'm saying? So unfortunately, guys, yeah, Aero Rover, he is bad. If anybody else comes in here and says otherwise, you're fucking delusional. Like, there's nothing you can say and to prove that Aero Rover is good as of to right now. There's nothing you can say. If you don't have Phoebe, he's not good. Like, he's literally useless if you don't have Phoebe. He's only there to provide heals and deal some damage and provide a 10% arrow damage bonus, and that's pretty much it. That is all he's there for. It's just not worth it. It really isn't worth it. But of course, you know, if he ends up being good, I'm definitely going to build him and use him, you know, in the future. But as of right now, I'm not going to waste my materials trying to build this guy when he can't really benefit me whatsoever. But when it comes to his constellations, though, we come back over here. When it comes to his constellations, this over here says casting mid-air attack cloudburst dance enhances rover's resistance to interrupt for 3 seconds. And nothing too crazy here. Casting resonance skill unbound flow continuously restores HP for the resonator on the field by 20% of rover's attack every 3 seconds for 30 seconds. When a resonator on the field has an HP lower than 35%, immediately restores their... So this is more like healing over here. Arrow damage bonuses increased by 15%. Casting mid-air cloud burst increases resonance skill damage bonus by 15%. Okay, what is this multiplier? Yeah, I'm gonna be real, guys. His dupes are not even that good too. I mean, it's really just heals and increased damage for him. He's not even buffing your allies even more. So, oof. This character is bad. He's really bad, guys. Really bad as of to right now. And yeah, that's all I gotta say, bro. If you're thinking about building, Aero Rover, I would highly recommend you to not do it. If you don't have Phoebe, don't do it. It's not worth it. But what about my Gion? It's not worth it, guys. You're only going to get a 10% arrow damage bonus from that weapon. It's not fucking worth it, man. Just save your materials, save your resources for the anniversary unit next update. It ain't worth it, man. It ain't worth it, guys. He's really bad right now. But hope you guys have a good one. And I just want to make this video just to notify you guys, just to show you guys, because I realized this after they released him. I didn't know that he can't inflict air erosion without Phoebe. It seems like that's the case, which is really unfortunate. But hope you guys have a good one. I'll be catching you guys on the next one.